Hello guys, we're back to Minecraft. I know it had been a while since I posted a video last time, but I just came up with two contraptions which I thought people might like. So these contraptions are basically just wind charge boosters that boost you up into the air, which you could use in case someone's running at you. So upon pressing a button, the pistons pull out the wind charges that push you into the air, right? And makes it really easy for you to escape from an enemy using the Elytra or by just gliding somewhere, because you can't really predict which way you're gonna go. So you take very little damage. I fell from 2,000 blocks and I only took 6 hearts, as you can see, right? So I built a flat ground one, right? And I also built I also built one at the corner, right? In case you're being like right here, right? Because you basically can get stuck in any situation anywhere. So the same thing. Upon pressing the button, the wind charges get pulled down, and then the block hides the whole contraption. So then you could just step on the wind charges, and you will get shot up into the air. Okay, now let's get to the part where I actually explain how does this whole contraption work, alright? So I'm gonna start from this one and then I'll go into this one. So, I know my wiring is very bad. Sorry, I'm not really good at redstone, but I am pretty proud of this machine. So we're gonna start off from this pulse clock, right? So upon pressing a lever, it's just gonna keep creating a signal that gets sent to this very simple wind charge catcher, right? So the wind charges get stuck there, and you can basically set it up for as long as you want. The more you hold it, the higher you'll go, but the machine will also create more lag. So let's just say this is enough, right? So the next thing is going to be the setting the wind charges into one block, right? So I decided that I would use two machines to produce the wind charges quicker, to wind charge catching machines, right? Then I push them all into one block using this very simple double extender, which gets activated upon this redstone dust being turned on, which gets turned on somewhere right here. It's this block right here. You can also place the button here if you want on top of that block. Yeah, so whenever you press the button, the signal goes to this double piston extenders that pushes the wind charges into one block right on top of this another double piston extender that pushes it all up. Right? But you can't really push the wind charges into the block. So what I had to do, I had to time the opening of the door, of the flush door, right? Not really a flush, but yeah. So how I did it is that upon the button press, this redstone dust will also turn on, so is this one, right? Which goes to this repeater contraption that basically holds the redstone signal in place, right? Then that redstone dust over there, right, it turns off the torch, the redstone torch, that powers off the pistons and opens a gap. And as soon as that happens, I set it this to I set it 2 repeaters to 4 ticks, which makes it 8 ticks, right? To time this double piston extender properly and push all the wind charges up. So let's see how it works again. I press the button and they get pushed up and then instantly get flushed by a block. The reason why the button is so far, because it obviously takes some time for the wind charges to appear, right? And also you don't really want to put it there because wind charges can activate buttons. Okay, so the next one is the flat one, works basically the same way, but I managed to use way less redstone, right? The same two double piston extenders push the void charges into one block, but this time instead of adding um, another piston to close the gap, I just used the same double piston extender to put the wind charges on top of the block that this double piston extender is holding, and then pushed it all up, right? So the same exact clock, the same exact two machines. These are just shulker boxes full of wind charges. You don't really have to edit, I just added it so it wouldn't run out. Yeah, before we start the building, I just wanna make sure that you understand that this construction will most likely only work in Bedrock Edition. Okay, so let's get to building. Okay, so now we are gonna build a flat ground. So we are gonna start off by digging a 9 by 6 deep by 9 area. Then we're gonna go to the middle, place a block left from the middle, and place two pistons facing up on top of that. Make sure that they're sticky pistons. Then we are going to go to the left of that, place two temporary blocks, break one in the middle, place it on the absorber, then you get out your dropper, put it like this. Now we're going to now we're gonna place a block, put a torch from the left of it, block on that, another torch, and a block on top of that. So after that's done, we are going to take out a redstone lamp, put it here with this observer facing into it and a redstone thing facing into a block, right? So now you got yourself a double piston extender, which I can show you that it works upon placing a button here. Now you got a working double piston extender. Okay, so the next step is going to be button activation for this, right? So we're gonna place a block here. It's gonna be left from the redstone lamp. Put a redstone repeater with no delay in it. Then we're gonna, what are we gonna do? Yeah, that's right. We're gonna put a block, another block on top. My bad. With the redstone dust on top of it. Then we're gonna build ourselves a 2x8 area, which is going to be... No, my bad. I'm stupid. I forgot. We have to keep this activated, right? So to keep this activated, we're gonna place two blocks, break the one beneath it, the redstone torch. Then we're gonna place another block with the redstone repeater with no delay on top of it. Okay, so now we are gonna place a block here, a block on top of it, break the block beneath, block again, like block here, and we're basically gonna make a 2x4 rectangle. Then we're gonna put two redstone dust on every end of this rectangle. There's two redstone repeaters going towards the torch here and two repeaters on the other side. We are gonna leave these two without any delay, and we're gonna set these two to 4 tick and 3 tick. Okay, so now we are gonna build a button. We're gonna build up a block again with two blocks going here and put redstone dust on each of these blocks. Now if I were to place a grass block on here, you'll see that this whole thing will get pulled down and will stay there for a second. Okay, so the next step is going to be placing two blocks here, remove the block below, then we are gonna put two more blocks going of that with a redstone repeater on top of each of these, and each of the redstone repeaters is going to be set to max ticks. Then we're gonna build two blocks of that, get out your redstone dust, place a block with a redstone repeater going to another block, and this redstone repeater is going to be set to 3 ticks. Then we're gonna place a redstone dust on top of this with our second double piston extender, which is actually pretty simple to build. So we are going to place an observer here and add a regular piston here. So now if you press a button, you'll see that this block is gonna get pulled down, and then this is gonna push this in, right? So this is going to push the wind charges into the block, which then will get pulled up. So this is done, right? Now we are going to face the same direction we started from, and we are going to start building here, right? So we are going to go 2 blocks off. Actually, we don't need a lamp anymore. We are going to use a copper bulb. So a copper bulb here. Wait, no, that doesn't look right. Hold up. We are going to go a block down. We're just going to bridge underneath the double piston extender and place 2 pistons under it. Now we're going to put a temporary block copper bulb. Make sure that they're waxed copper bulbs, because if they oxidize, then the pistons will just start going off every time they change their textures. You're gonna put 2 observers going into that. We are going to get out a dispenser, and we are going to get out powder snow. So put the dispensers on top of the copper bulbs and powder snow in front of the dispensers. Then we are going to place 2 blocks here with redstone repeaters going into it that will activate this wind catcher. Then we are going to place a temporary block, a block on top of that, and 6 blocks going like this, all the way to the end. Put redstone dust on top of all of them. Get out your regular piston and get out your redstone block. You're gonna put a piston, but do not place a block, your redstone block yet, because you're going to go 1, 2, and 3, break the dust and replace it with a redstone repeater, and then you're gonna place your redstone. This should make a clock keep going like crazy until you activate any of the redstone dust with a piston. Yeah, so now all you have to do is just fill up the dispensers with wind charges. So here are dispensers. Let's just put 4 stacks in each. So you're gonna press the lever. This will start catching the wind charges, right? You're gonna build up the wind charges for as long as you want. Then you're gonna power it off, and then you're gonna, whenever you're ready, you're gonna press a button that will put the wind charges on top of the block, any block which you want. Depends on the terrain. And then you have a very powerful wind charge cannon, so you can cover it up with grass blocks and you're good to go. I'm not actually gonna cover it all with grass block. Something else that I want you to know is that it doesn't have to be a button, because a pressure plate would work perfectly fine and keep it hidden. So you can just run up like this and then just tap on the pressure plate and then keep running. Actually, maybe I will fill it up with grass blocks. Okay, so I covered it up with grass blocks, and now, for example, let's imagine that someone's running after me. I get some distance, then I press the pressure plate, the wind charges get pushed out, and then I can just get wind bursted up in the air. Okay, another thing that I want to tell you is that the pressure plate doesn't have to be here. Like, it doesn't have to be here exactly. So you can actually place it anywhere you want by just extending the redstone pools. So you're just gonna keep building wherever you want, but make sure if the redstone is longer than 15 blocks to put a repeater on the 14th block or 15th, right? Yeah, so with that being said, this is the whole contraption. If you are better at wiring than me or at redstone than me, feel free to make remixes of these, and also feel free to use this on any server you want. Yeah, and I will build the other one, the hill one, in another video. So bye.